How's it going, fellas? So this is a part 3 to a story time I've been doing on the channel for the last couple weeks. I'll give you guys a quick recap of what happened for you guys who have not seen it, but I'll also be linking the 2 other parts of the story in the description because you guys should go watch these after if you haven't already done so. Basically, the super brief summary was there's this girl that came to my school and she started snapping me, and I was like pretty excited because I had a pretty dry year, right? So I'm talking to her, everything is good, but the second she comes to school, she completely ghosts me. I mean, unadds me on Snapchat, unfollows me on Instagram. Like, I still to this day don't 100% know why. But then one of my friends tells me that actually I should check my Instagram, and I get a message saying that she followed me. She re-adds me on Snapchat, so I think everything is good. And honestly, things were looking good until my other friend that helped me out with this pulled me aside and told me something that was well, it was interesting. Basically, she told me that this girl basically wanted to more or less pit me versus my best friend to see who's the better one to be with, right? Which is really messed up in retrospect. And I was really thinking about it for a second. I'm like, do I really want to compete with my best friend over this girl? I don't think it's a great idea, but me at the time was like, this sounds like a great idea. So yeah, I did it. So basically the last story time ended off with me snapping her after realizing that it's me versus my best friend. Don't forget to leave a like in the video to claim your free nothing. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. And yeah, let's just jump right back into the story. So let me assign names to these girls again, because I kind of forgot which fake names I used in the last one. So let's think of some names, dude. I'm going to call the girl that I'm into, let's call her Annabelle, because I don't know any Annabelles. And let's call the kind of like the best friend I'm being pitted against, let's call him Steve, because that's kind of a staple name on the channel. Right now, it's Sunday night, and I start snapping Annabelle. That's where we left off in the last story. And basically, I know what the stakes are. I kind of knew that what was being done was wrong, but at the time, I just wasn't really thinking correctly. I mean, obviously, I was falling for it, so I really wasn't thinking correctly. But anyways, I'm snapping her, I'm asking her things, the standard, like, questions, trying to, like, start up a conversation, because, man, I have no time to take this slow, bro. I'm in a competition. This is a race, dude. Like, I have no time. Okay, so basically, Sunday night's over. I talked to her a little bit. Monday night, I'm heading into school. So basically, at my school, we had these things called free periods where if you didn't have a class then, you could kind of hang out, do whatever you wanted to do, maybe hang out with friends, do some homework, both, that never really happened, dude. But basically, every second period, me and my best friend Steve at the time, we would kind of hang out because we both had a free period. And I kind of walked into Monday knowing what was going down, knowing what was happening. But to like my knowledge, Steve had no idea of like the stakes of what was happening. So basically, I walk in there like every other normal day. And I'm really just hoping that we just talk about normal stuff. We talk about school, maybe a math class we have or something. But no, the first thing Steve talks about, and remember, he doesn't totally know that, like, I'm trying to snap this girl as well, or have been trying to for, like, the last X number of months, right? He's like, yo, dude, look what Annabelle sent me. And I'm just thinking to myself, okay, here we go. So he's been telling me, like, oh, yeah, Annabelle's been talking to me all last night. And unfortunately, it was kind of painful, dude, because, like, I was sitting there and he would get a snap from her, he would snap her back, she would snap him, he would snap her back, and then she would eventually snap me back. Like, since I was there, I could see in real time her responding to him a lot more frequently and opening him much faster than me. Like, normally you're just sitting there like, okay, look, now I don't even care about it. I don't really, but like back in the day, I'd be like, oh, she took so long to reply to me, whatever. Like, but like that was normally irrational fears, but this was 100% rational because I was sitting right there, dude. I was sitting right there watching her ignore my message and read and respond to his, dude. Just a little piece of advice. There's always another guy. No, I'm just playing. The funny thing was, in this situation, there literally was another guy, and I kind of feel I don't know if he knew. Steve was nice to me. We were really good friends, but he could also be pretty competitive. So I kind of have a little bit of a sneaking suspicion that he knew what was going on, and that was one of the reasons why he was like telling me so much, but that's just a suspicion at this point. So anyways, the day goes on, and it's really not looking good. She's not really responding to me anymore. And remember, this is supposed to be a competition per se to see who's the right one to choose. Totally messed up, right? Pinning me against my best friend, messed up, right? 100%. But at the time, I was just like, I think it's clear I'm losing, right? I'm losing the competition. Dude, and it really sucks because like for every class during that day, I really struggled to pay attention because I mean, I was thinking about this. I mean, this was someone that I've been interested in and thought I had a chance with for months now. And all of a sudden, I was given this golden opportunity. I mean, it was really not a golden opportunity. It was a terrible opportunity. But in my mind, I was like, I have a chance and I'm going to lose to my best friend, which if I just like kind of lost, if she said no to me in general, that's going to hurt. I mean, you get rejected, right? And maybe it hurts even a little more if she rejects you for someone else, but the other person's a rando and you just don't really know them. Like, it hurts more, but at the same time, you're like, okay. But dude, if it's with basically your best friend at the time, you're going to have to see him every day. You're going to have to hear about it all the time. And it just is like proof that it was not fun. So basically, days going on, I feel like I'm losing. It's not a great feeling. And eventually, I decide to text my friend, not Steve, not Annabelle, but the one from the last story that kind of talked to Annabelle and kind of figured out what was going to happen. Basically, like the one who broke it to me that I would be competing against, basically my best friend at the time. So I basically text her. I'm like, hey, I don't know how this is going. I don't feel like things are good. I was hoping, dude, she would respond to me with, oh, these are, whatever, these fears are unjustified. You're totally fine. You're looking too far into it, kind of something like that. But then she responds to my text and is like, yeah, I'm sorry. And I was like, at first I was like, okay, does she know something? Because there's a big difference between her being like, yeah, like just taking my word at face value. Because remember, I wanted encouragement. But then, unfortunately, I got a second text from her basically saying, yeah, I think she's going to go with Steve. And I was like, no. No, but actually, I was pretty sad. The whole thing was like, it was just kind of cemented that I lost my best friend. So then a couple days pass, and I'm kind of thinking the whole thing is over. But then all of a sudden, I get a random text from one of Annabelle's friends that I'm kind of friends with, but not the other friend I was talking about earlier. Let's call her Sarah, because why not? And Sarah says, hey, we need to talk about something. And I was like, what's up? And she's like, it's about Annabelle. And I was like, what do you mean by that? And yeah, that's where I'm going to leave off this part of the story. I know, I'm great. Cliffhanger. Let's go. I will be doing a part 4 to this series eventually. Just leave a like in the video. If there's a lot of likes on this video, I'll probably post it sooner rather than later. Yeah. Fellas, if you have a little bit of time and want to help out the channel, please click on one of the 4 videos/playlists you see on screen right now. I will also be putting part 1 and part 2 on screen. They're going to be the top 2 videos if you do want to catch up, or click on the Storytime playlist if you want to just catch up on all the other story times if you haven't already done so. Literally just watching a bunch of my videos really does help out the channel, and I do appreciate it. Peace.